Hey viewers, welcome to my orchid world. Today I am going to talk about how to take care of orchids during the rainy season. Right now it is the rainy season going on in many places, and in general rainwater is very good for our orchids. It is also good for other plants as well. It contains nutrients which are very essential for the proper growth and development of all orchids. So in general, what we see when we order an orchid, the supplier sells the orchid, it gets transported to our place. They usually come potted in coconut husk, which is, the fibers are very thickly woven. You can say it is a natural fiber and the fibers are very thick, so it holds lots of water. So during transport the orchid is sent preferably in coconut husk so that it doesn't dry up during the transit. Some places might be a bit far, so they will take longer periods of time to reach the destination. During this time the coconut fiber will supply the necessary moisture to the orchid so that it doesn't dry up, so and it reaches to our place in good condition. Once it reaches us, we cannot continue to keep the orchid in the coconut husk, but immediately we cannot remove it as well, because if you go to remove the coconut husk from the orchid, and that too without soaking it, you are bound to lose some orchids. We will definitely break those roots which are intertwined in the coconut husk very deeply, and even if you soak it for a couple of hours, you are not going to get away with it without breaking one or two roots. So ideally we wait for 1 month or so for the orchid to get adapted to our environment, and then if you see some roots growing or some new growth, some kiki growing up, that is the time when we can handle the orchid and then start repotting it. To begin with, we have to remove the coconut husk from the roots. So for that, as I said before, we are bound to lose some orchids. So first of all we have to remove it from the roots without damaging them as much as possible. And also the coconut fiber disintegrates very fast, and within 1 month you will see that it is disintegrating, it is falling apart from the orchid roots by itself, and it decomposes very fast. That is one drawback of coconut husk, the reason why I do not like coconut husk and I always prefer sphagnum moss. During the time the orchid gets adapted to our environment, if you are growing your orchids outside in shade houses, then and it rains on top of that, it is going to harm the orchid more. So what we should do is, if it is raining continuously for a couple of hours, it is okay, but if it continues to days, say 3 or 4 days, it is continuously raining, so we need to shift our orchids somewhere inside where there is no rain falling. And because the coconut husk is already wet, and top of that if you continue to keep it in rain, it is going to make it soggy, the roots are going to rot, and you are going to have lots and lots of problems like stem rot. There are possibilities of root rot, and if it happens, there are chances that the orchid might die due to all these problems, because roots and the stump is very vital for the growth of the orchid, and hence we have to protect it from being soggy, and that's why we have to shift it to a drier position and wait for the coconut husk to dry up. And before the roots show up, before any new growth shows up, we need to take care of the orchid. We cannot remove the coconut husk from the roots, because that is the time the orchid is taking to adapt to our environment, and during that time we cannot mess with the roots. So it's been 1 month that this orchid has been with me. It has already started putting out new shoots, new kikis from the cane points. Now it is safe to repot it. The coconut fiber has already disintegrated. It got removed from the roots. Many of the roots were damaged. It went with the coconut husk without me touching the entire setup. So that is bound to happen. As I have already said, you are going to lose some roots if it comes in coconut husk. So here I have potted the amethystoglossum in some sphagnum moss, pure sphagnum moss. I have not used any bark pieces, and for balancing the orchid I have just added the disintegrated part, the coconut fiber part that got separated from the orchid. Gradually I'll remove it, because once the plant stabilizes in the pot, I will it will be safe for me to remove the coconut fibers, because they are anyway, they have already disintegrated, they are decomposed, they are just for stability of the orchid. Hopefully it will be all right. The canes look a bit shriveled. They have been in this setup for almost 1 month now, after it came to my place, and it will be all right. Hopefully it will be all right. I'll keep watering this orchid, and I will update you once the canes swell up and the kikis grow a bit. You can see already the kikis have grown nice root systems. One of the kikis is very small, but the root system is quite big. It has already grown multiple roots, and there are altogether, I have counted, there are altogether 7 kikis, 1 at the base and 6 on the canes. So it is a vigorous growing orchid. The canes are very long, and I'll keep you updated on this. Thank you for watching.